Okay, we got a lot of notes. That's why I'm starting. 11.6. The Pythagorean Theorem. And what's crazy is there's a lot more than just the Pythagorean Theorem. It's just the section. We've got a lot to learn today. All right, so the Pythagorean Theorem is only applied to right triangles. Right triangle has what kind of angle?
90 degrees.
Good job. And it looks like this. And a right angle, okay, so we know what a right triangle is. It has a right angle, which is 90 degrees. All right, the theorem. What is a theorem? You will be hearing about theorem. No, a theorem. A theorem you're going to hear a lot about in geometry. It is a statement that has been proved to be always true. It's a theorem. A theorem is a statement that has been proved to be always true. Always. So that would help for some of you are like, what if? It's always true. Okay. Pythagorean Theorem. Again, only applied to right triangles. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. It's a formula. Pythagorean theorem is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And it's only when it's a right triangle. Yep, y'all should remember this. We did it last year. 7th graders have done it.
Is it easy or hard?
I mean, I think it's not bad. You just got to remember the rules. Okay? If you can remember one very important rule, then you're good to go. And it deals with radicals. So if you hate radicals, then you may hate this. But you're not dividing radicals or anything, so that's good. You're just going to be simplifying them.
This doesn't have to do with dividing?
No. Okay, so one thing that you need to know is what A, B, and C represent. Here's my right triangle, and that little square, if you remember, says it means 90 degrees, and that means that this is a 90 degree or right triangle. And if you remember, C is what? What is the longest side called? Anyone remember? Huh? Hypotenuse.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hypotenuse. Sophia, if you want to move up so you can see better, you can. Or you can stay there. Okay, C is the hypotenuse. A and B are your sides. Now, normally they sometimes will make that the shortest side, but there's no real rule for that. So A and B are just the other sides of the triangle. C is all the leg. That's all right. The A and B are the legs. And C is always the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. It is the longest side. You need to remember that the hypotenuse is the longest side of a right triangle. A is a leg, B is a leg. Got it?
Mhm.
Okay. Now, let's use the same triangle, and let's say the measurement for this leg is 20. I'm going to put it on the inside. And the measurement for this leg is 10. And we don't know what the hypotenuse is, so we're going to have to figure it out. That's a triangle. That is a question mark. And again, this only works with right triangles.
Does this thing it has to do with any like fractions?
There could be, but I looked through your problems today and I didn't really see it. All right, so to find the measurement of the longest side, the hypotenuse, you're going to use the Pythagorean Theorem formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. All right, so A is 10, so we just plug it in. 10 squared. B is 20, so 20 squared. We don't know what C is, so we're just going to say C squared. What is 10 squared, Morgan?
100.
Very good.
Sorry, I had radicals on my mind. I was like, wait, but that's not a perfect square.
No. 20 squared. Franz?
400.
Very good. Equals C squared. All right, what's 100 plus 400?
500.
I didn't call him.
It's 500.
All right, now, so we have 500 equals C squared. That is not the answer because the C is still squared. Remember back here, we had 20 and 10. We plugged them in and we squared it. Okay, so 100 is not the measurement for A because we squared it. 10 is. So we have 500 equals C squared. So we need to take it out of the square. So when you get to this part, you have to square both sides. The square root of C squared is just C. Over here, we're going to do our factor tree. Guys, yesterday, I had so many people messing up and I'm not, if you're sitting here thinking, oh, she's calling me out, I'm really not, because I had almost an entire class who's trying to still skip corners here and there, and y'all are making mistakes. If y'all would write it out, take a little bit of time. If you think about the amount of time that you sit staring at a wrong answer, how is this wrong? How is this wrong? I'm looking at it. How is this wrong? You're wasting time. If you would do it out the first time, it would probably take less time than reworking problems over and over again because you're skipping steps. So I strongly suggest you do that. All right, what two numbers when multiplied give me 500? 50 times what?
500.
Okay. You be confident in your answer. All right, then we can do what? Huh? Okay, we can do 10 times 10. And 2 times 5. It doesn't matter. You can use different numbers as long as you do it correctly. So now I'm going to write out my prime factors. I have 2
times 2 and 5 times 5 times 5.
See how I did that? I didn't just do a factor tree. I'm actually writing out each factor. I'm circling. I have space. I'm not cramming it in a little spot like right here, like some of y'all are doing. Space. Are you doing space? Yes, you.
What?
Okay. Now, what is my root, Miranda? That's right. Your root is 2. So I'm circling groups of 2. So let's see. Sophia, what goes on the outside? 2 and 5. And what goes on the inside? 5. 2 times 5 is 10 times 5. Square root of 5 equals C. And there's the answer to the measurement of the hypotenuse. Any questions?
No.
Y'all have it down? Get it? The important thing to remember is this right here. You have to square both sides. I mean, put them in square root.
Can you use calculator for this if there's like decimals?
I don't know. All right. Now I'm going to teach you about the distance formula. Better take good notes because there's a lot here. Oh no. My pen's running out. What? No. Dirt.
What is that?
I equals.
No, that's pert.
That's pert. Never mind.
What?
Distance equals rate times time. Okay, so that's distance formula.
Did we already learn that this year? The dirt thing?
I think so.
Distance formula. Okay. You haven't learned about distance formula yet. This is when finding distance between any 2 points. The formula is D equals X subscript 2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, all under a radical sign. There you go.
Is that a star from the D?
That's a star. I'll put 2 stars. So, to find the distance between any 2 points, this is the formula. So you better write this down. x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, all under the radical sign.
Wait, isn't that it's similar to one
It is similar. Absolutely. All right, I got it. Here we go. Example. Let's say you're given 2, 1 point, that's a point, and 5, 1. Find distance.
2, 1, and 5, 1.
Yep. And you need to find the distance. Okay. Oh, no, you don't have to do that. Now, a lot of people are like, we've done the subscript stuff. So if you remember, this point would be x1, this is y1. This would be x2, and this is y2. Okay? I would strongly suggest you writing this. It takes 2 seconds, if even that, to write that underneath your points so that you don't get confused. And then we just start plugging in the information. So I go back to my distance formula. I have it written right here. So x2, what is x2? 5 minus x1, which is 2 squared, plus y2. What's y2?
1.
1 minus, and y1 is 1 squared, all under a radical sign. We're setting it up. These are notes so that all my absent people will know what to do. All right, let's work it out. 5 minus 2 is what? So we have 3 squared plus 1 minus 1 is 0 squared. Just write it all under the radical sign. 0 squared is just 0. So what's 3 squared?
9.
And what's the square root of 9?
3.
There's your answer. Distance between these 2 points is 3. So really, all you have to do is make sure you have your formula written very well, that you're careful as to the placement of your x's and your y's, and then make sure you do your math correctly, and you're fine. It's not like, and again, in my opinion, dividing radicals takes more brain cells than this. This is plugging in information and just doing some basic math. You're not having to sit there and do a whole lot of weird, like, is it simplified? Is it not? What do I do? You know.
For this particular one, you could just subtract 5 from 2 and get the same answer.
Okay.
Subtract the x's.
For this particular
Yeah,
one.
this particular.
Any questions? All right, let's move on. So there's an example of that. So we've learned Pythagorean Theorem and did an example. Distance formula and did an example. Now, midpoint formula. So you're learning 3 different things today. That's why I said we got some notes. And y'all got to really pay attention because I don't want to do as many examples for time. So really make sure you've got these examples down. Okay, so in this point, this particular one, we're finding the midpoint of a segment, you know, like a line segment, between 2 endpoints, so line segment. And we're finding the midpoint, we're finding the point that is absolutely in the center. So think of the Cartesian plane. Think of a line segment. Think of the 2 endpoints, and what we're looking for is the absolute center. The formula, okay, x1 plus x2, Franz, divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2, divided by 2. Now, if you notice, we have something going on with the x, a comma, and something going on with y. What does that look like?
The point of this x, y.
That's right. It looks like this. So, because we're looking again for the point. So this is what we hope to get, the midpoint. And there's formula, we're trying to get a point.
What's the sign in the middle?
That's a comma. See, that's what's nice about this. It's still just, it's limited math, in my opinion, because there's not just as much work that you have to do. All right, so example. Let's say you're given -3 and 1 as one endpoint and 5 and 4 as the other endpoint. And we're going to look, find midpoint. Now, in the past, like when we did slopes and stuff like that, if you forgot the slope formula, I've found students that'll sit there and graph the line and then just count and figure out the slope that way. Unfortunately with this, I've had students that will graph this line segment and try to find the midpoint. It doesn't work. And the reason is there's going to be decimals and fractions sometimes. See, when you're doing the slope in Algebra 1, a lot of times, and you're just doing it by graphing, just looking and counting, they're going to give you a definite point right on that, the crosshairs or the intersection. But when it comes to midpoint, it could be all kinds of weird places. All right, so let's go ahead and solve this. This is your x1 and your y1. This is x2 and y2. All right, so here's my formula. x1 plus x2. See how they're different? This is x2 and x1. Now it's x1 and x2. It does. Oh, plus it doesn't. No, it just does when you're subtracting, but plus it doesn't. Also, I am going to be giving y'all formula charts for this test. I'm testing your knowledge, not whether you can remember what comes first and stuff. No, they're not going to give you this on the Iowa, so don't worry.
But we're going to be learning about geometry.
Shh, let's stay focused. Okay, so we have -3 plus 5 divided by 2, comma, 1 plus 4 divided by 2. All right. So -3 and 5 is, so I have 2 over 2, comma, and then 5 over 2. Simplify, don't leave it as 2 over 2. What does that equal? Sorry. So you can say 1 comma 5 over 2, or you can say 1 and 2.5, or you can say 1 and 2.5. Any of those would be acceptable. Okay? Any of them. Here it's an improper fraction, but they're simplified still. They're in low, we didn't leave it as 2 over 2. You can do it as a mixed number, decimal, I don't care. Any questions? Okay. Let's open our book. Do y'all have this down? Sophia back there, do you have it down? Okay. Do you have it?
I'm running out of paper.
Then go buy a new spiral. Oh no, not goodbye. Go buy another one. Don't get a big one, just get a small one.
Well, yeah.
All right. So we're doing examples. Page 461. I want you to know my phone is blowing up with the school. I'm turning it around and I'm not answering any of it. Huh? No, it's not bad. It's just people saying, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I'd rather get through math. Do what? Oh no, this is not birthday stuff. This is Mr. B is gone and blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Where do you go?
He's not here. Okay. So, what?
They told us.
Oh, I was like, oh.
Okay, so number 1. It says find the length of the unknown side of each right triangle. That's important to know because, again, we can only do the Pythagorean Theorem with the right triangle. So that's what we're using. Here's the formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And they said A is 3. So it's going to be 3 squared plus 4 squared equals C squared. All right, what's 3 squared?
9.
What's 4
16.
squared?
16.
Franz, what do I do now? You talk me through it.
Add both 9 and 16. 16
And you
up,
get?
and you get 25.
Very good. Now, Franz, I have 25 equals c squared. Is that the missing
No.
side? Oh no, what do I need to
You
do?
put like the radical sign,
Very good. You put the radical
both.
sign on both.
and then you get like. Let me see. I know how
Keith,
to
stop
do it.
dancing. What is the square root of 25?
Square root of 5. And
That's right.
C will be just C squared will be C.
There you go.
Then that's the answer.
Okay, so the third side, which is a hypotenuse, would be 5. Any questions? All right, let's do another.
Can we do like number 7?
I'm going to do a few on here. So, number 3. Again, we have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. They gave us a is 4, b is 5, and we're looking for the hypotenuse. Miranda, what is 4 squared?
16.
What's 5 squared? Equals c squared. Now what do I do? And you get
36. 46.
very good. Now what do I do, Miranda? Oh, that's so mature of you. Okay, now, Miranda, is this simplified? It is. We can't do anything to 41. There is nothing we can do to 41. So it is the way it is. So your answer is the square root of 41 equals c, because this we can take out. But this one is already simplified, so that is your answer. Any questions? So I want to show you that in case you get there so you know what to do. Got it down, Valeria? You sure? Because you're doing the next one. Number 5. Okay, this time they didn't give us, they gave us C, and we're looking for B. So again, here's my formula. Valeria is my victim. So Valeria, what is A? What did they tell us? What?
Oh, never mind. I was looking at the wrong one. 2.
So we have 2 squared. B is missing, so I'm going to say B squared. So 2 squared plus B squared equals what they say C is.
8.
Very good. Equals 8 squared. So Valeria, once you have it written down, what is 2 squared?
4.
Very good. Plus B squared equals what's 8 squared?
Wait, what?
What's 8 squared?
Forgot.
Sophia, you're not Valeria. 64. Thank you, Sophia. I don't understand back row people. All right, now.
That was disrespectful. I didn't.
No, that's not disrespectful.
I didn't.
You did it yesterday.
Why
Okay.
didn't you? She's lying.
All right, it's my birthday. You cannot be mean to me today. Okay, so we're isolating the variable. We're doing intruder alert. So we want the b squared all by itself. What do I do with the 4? I got to get it over here. Okay, so you're right. We're going to subtract 4 on both sides because we're doing intruder alert. We're isolating the variable. So 64 minus 4 is 60. Okay, Valeria, I'm here. What do I do? Go ahead, say it.
Check your thing.
Checky thing on both sides. So the square root of b squared is just b. And Valeria, Is this simplified? No. So we're doing a factor tree, boys and girls. 2 or Christmas tree, okay? And then to save on time, I'm just doing it for y'all. But you're doing it too, however way you want to do it. Whoops. 3 times 5. That's a 3. All right, now I'm writing down my prime factors, boys and girls. Valeria, you writing this down?
Yes.
All right. I have 2, cross out, times 2. Y'all better be doing these. 3 and 5. Valeria, what is my root?
2.
So I'm circling my pair. And those are, so Valeria, what's my answer?
2 squared 15.
Excelente. That is exactly how you do it. Because these go on the inside, that's 15. This is on the outside. Any questions? Nope. All right. Then I think I'll move to another one. Let's do, y'all get this? You have to simplify and everything? Any questions?
It's the same. So
Alright.
this will be the exact same as like number 7? Or
Yes.
6?
7 will be, it'll be just same thing. What does 7 look like?
No.
Yeah, it's going to be the same thing. So make sure you do intruder alert. Isolate whatever leg or hypotenuse, whatever. It's on one side.
Mm-hmm.
Got it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's move on. What? He's excited about his haircut tomorrow, so y'all just leave him alone.
That's definitely not why I said
Oh,
I was
that
excited.
is, you know it. Getting your hair
No, I'm
done.
excited because I have a
Okay.
meeting tomorrow. That's why.
It's about the hair. Okay, look at number 13. Morgan, can you read the directions?
Yes. Oh, it's not the long one. Give the lengths of the 3 sides of a triangle. Determine whether it is a right triangle.
All right, so they gave us the lengths of a triangle. They want to know, is it a right triangle? And we do that by the Pythagorean Theorem. Okay. Where does 10 go, Morgan? A, B, or C?
Wait. We.
Sophia, help her out.
No, I got this.
I got it.
It's C.
It is C because it's the longest side.
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh.
what?
Oh.
The hypotenuse is always the longest side.
Right.
Where do you have to put the 2?
Hold on.
And then the other 2 don't have.
This is always longest side. And the other 2 don't really matter. Sometimes they'll say that the shortest one is A, but truly it doesn't matter. Yes, exactly. So here we go. So Morgan, what's 6 squared?
64.
6 squared.
Sorry.
No, this
I was looking at 8 on my paper. That's 36.
What is 8 squared?
64.
Thank you. And 10 squared.
100.
36 plus 64 gives you what?
100.
So do these work?
Yeah.
So yes, this is a right triangle. If they don't equal each other, then it is not a right triangle because this only works for a right triangle. It can still be a triangle, it's just not a right one.
Of the
So
correct.
the other ones are always wrong.
Absolutely. All right. Do we understand how to do that section? All right, look at 17. We are going to fly through this. All right, 17. Read the directions, Keith.
Find the midpoint of the segment of the given endpoint.
All right, so we're doing
Midpoint.
midpoint.
No distance.
That's later.
Oh no.
Okay, so 17, it's 2 and 4
Wait.
and
M.
6.
Oh yeah.
Okay, right underneath there, x1, y1, x2, y2, just so you don't get confused. Now, Keith, what is my formula?
X1 plus X2 over 2 and Y1 plus Y2 over 2.
Good. Now we just plug it in. So, Keith, what is x1
2,
and x2?
6,
And what is y1
4,
and y2?
6,
All right. What is 6 plus 2?
8,
Oh, what did I do here? That's supposed to be a 6. All right. What is 4 plus 6?
10,
All right. What is 8 divided by 2? And 10 divided by 2. And there's your answer.
Midpoint's like the easiest one.
Any questions? Everyone got it? I'll let y'all write it down.
Distance is the one under the radical sign, right?
Yep. Got it? Oops, wait. You good? All right. Where's my paper? 21. This one is going to be distance. And they gave us 3, 4, and 0 and 0. New, you want to do this one? Huh? All right, so I have x1 and y1, x2 and y2. What's my formula? Wait a minute, I'm messing up. x2 minus x1 squared
Plus y2 plus
minus, there you go. All right, so tell me what to start putting in here. What's my x2? Minus, what's my x1? Squared. So plus, what's my y2? Minus my y1 squared, all under radical sign. All right, new, what is 0 minus 3? Plus, what is 0 minus 4? What is negative 3 squared? What is negative 4 squared? What is 9 plus 16? What is the square root of 25? And there's your distance. Any questions? Good. Any questions? Y'all ready? All right.
4.
Let's do page 461. Numbers 2 through 26 even. Honors. 4 through 26 even. And number 34. This is due Monday.
Think you want to?
I don't know when your test is scheduled yet. It's going to be next week. Oh, it's going to be soon. I don't know. We'll find out. All right. There you go.